Welcome to Tail Talk Grooming Chronicles with Hound Therapy, the podcast where we talk all things pet grooming, daycare, academy, and more. Hosted by Shannon and Tanya of Hound Therapy, serving pet owners across North Texas. We're here to share expert tips, hilarious pet stories, and the inside scoop on keeping your furry friends happy and healthy. Our motto, humanity over vanity. And don't worry, we don't bite. Let's get started.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Choosing a groomer shouldn't feel like guesswork. Today, Shannon and Tanya share the must-know tips every Plano dog parent should consider before trusting someone with their pup. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sophia Yvette, co-host and producer, here in the studio with Shannon and Tanya, professional groomers at Hound Therapy. Hi, ladies. It is lovely to be back on with you today. Now, let's go ahead and dive right into this one. Today's topic is what Plano dog parents should know before choosing a groomer. I'll let you both take this one away.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you. So let's start with grooming is more than just a haircut. It's complete holistic care for your dog. And it's a really great way to think about it. You know, where every grooming salon is different. We here at Hound Therapy are focused on dog stress levels, the comfort, physical limitations, emotional well-being for both you and your dog.
Yes.
Grooming is, we're more about preventative care than cosmetic care. A holistic approach for us means understanding the entire dog.
Yeah.
So, it's not just the haircut. We deal a lot and focus on senior dogs, anxious dog, rescue dogs, medically sensitive. There's so many things that we do that it makes us different than your typical dog grooming shop in Plano. And I would say almost in the DFW Metroplex, there's a lot of people that are doing what we're doing now, but we've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Holistic dog grooming in Plano is, you hear people talking about this fear-free dog grooming, senior dog grooming. Fear-free dog grooming seems to be one of these big new
It's a new for topic.
Holistic care. People are hearing this. I don't know that they really understand what that means. That means that you need to be really confident on where it is that you're looking to take your dog and to make sure that your dog is in the right salon fit. It's like finding a hairstylist. Not every one of them is perfect for you. That doesn't mean that they're not good at their job or that they're not good at what they're offering. It just means it may not be good for you specifically. So you need to really notice what a skilled groomer looks like. A skilled groomer looks like for an older dog and what one looks like for a younger puppy are two very different skills. So you need to know who has those skills and where you're able to go to take them.
Now, what questions should Plano dog parents ask during a consultation or a meet and greet? I'm sure there's some go-to questions they should be asking.
Oh, 100%. And I love that you used the word meet and greet because
Because I feel like people don't do that enough.
Yeah, we get phone calls all the time, and we encourage you to come in and call us, ask us your questions.
Yeah.
I actually had a lady call me yesterday or the day before, and she said, "Hey, look, I see that you have a grooming academy here. What do you charge to train me just to groom my dog?" And I explained to her that that's not what we do. We're training an entire profession. It's a year long. It's pretty in depth. And she's like, "Well, I definitely don't want that, but I have 4 dogs. And I take 2 of my dogs to the dog groomer, and 2 of them I want to learn how to do myself." And my first question was, "Well, where do you get your dogs groomed?" And she goes, I said, "Is it here?" And she said, "No, it's not. It's not there at all. One bites and is a little anxious, and he does really good at the place he's at. So she's going to leave that where it is." And I said, "Well, why wouldn't you just ask them to teach you?" I said, "If you were my client and you came here, I would just let you pay for a groom and stay here. And I would go over some things that you can do.
I'll
could
tell you
stay
how to
here."
do it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to charge you other than, just
The
my
groom.
time to groom you for your dog. And she said, "Oh, well, I hadn't thought about, I didn't want to think that by me asking that I would, be taking business away from them. I am like, well, they already have two of your, they already have your business. Actually, the long story short, the phone, conversation was very long, and I think that I got my point across, talked myself out of some business, which is not what I'm about, but I do want what's best for her and her animals. And, if you can't afford to have 4 dogs groomed,
Yeah.
I understand that. But ask the people that are in your lives that are dealing with your animals already, hey, look, let's be open and honest. I've got these, you're not taking money out of our mouths. You're asking us for a professional opinion on how to better suit your dog. And if that person says no, and my words to her were, if your groomer isn't willing to help you with your other 2 dogs, then you should probably be looking for another grooming salon either
Yeah.
way. And she said, you know what? I'm going to call them. And if they say no, I'm gonna get my dog groomed at Hound Therapy. And I said,
But
well,
she didn't call us back yet,
that
so
no, it's and
it's a
that's
plus.
great. But she honestly just felt like she was going to
Yeah,
be intruding or offending
or
her.
stepping on toes or of some sort.
Yeah, which was I was like, "Why wouldn't you just ask him?" Like, it just seems like such an odd thing that you wouldn't wanna talk to, the person that's already in your life there. So, a red flag is somebody who's not willing to open up their space to you, to open up their heart and their communication and what they're doing and how they're doing it. They should want to share things that are gonna make you and your pet's lives better. That's why you're there. So a red flag for me is, dirty, smelly, the obvious
Always.
things that, yeah, that you should know. I mean, those to me are obvious. Hey, I'm not leaving my dog here. Read the reviews, look into it, walk in there, walk your dog in. If you've got some concerns, use your voice to advocate for your dog and yourself because most people are going to be responsive to that.
100%. Now, let's go ahead and close out our conversation today with a final question. So, how can dog parents evaluate whether salon environment is right for their dog's temperament and right for the owner, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Walk in without your dog, and if you get a good feel and a good vibe, I know that sounds kinda Hawaiian, we're not in Hawaii, we're in Plano, but, just kinda check it out,
Yeah.
see if, "Hey, is this a place I like? Do I feel at home here?" Because if you do, then chances are your dog is going to. Then walk in with your dog. You can call. Sometimes people get a really good feel by just the person who answers the phone. I know I'm one of those. If I
Yeah.
call a place and I'm curious about their business and nobody answers or I have to leave a
I'm like,
message to get
"Ooh,
called back,
I'm not going."
I'm
Usually, I'm not going there.
yeah, usually. So, if you get now you may love that. You may like, "Hey, I've got a message and I do everything online." That might be the place for you. I don't know. I'm not gonna chat with you or email with you long conversations about how we're gonna groom your dog if I've never met you. I will have a long conversation with you, but that's the person that I am. So, you've gotta however you reach out, if you're getting a good warm feeling from that, that's gonna be better for you. And if you walk in and your dog's a little nervous, and the person that's gonna be helping you is not, chances are that's a good sign, right? You don't want
If your
somebody
dog
who's
is trembling and the person is also trembling.
also red flag. So, it's a lot of it is just common sense, but most of it is just a gut feeling.
Yeah.
Um, because your dog better than somebody else, and chances of you picking a bad place, I mean, it's a toss up still. If you don't know much about your dog, you're a new pet owner, you may experience some bad things. Carry that conversation over to your next place, right?
Yep.
Take that as a learning experience, and don't take it as the, oh my gosh, there's a traumatic thing that's happened, and that's what all things are like because
Yeah.
that couldn't be farther from the truth.
And it carries over to your dog.
Right. So, you wanna try to spin that into as most positive way as
Yeah.
possible and learn from your mistakes so that you can find something better, next time. Me personally, I like to stick with small business, versus, big box, but big box sometimes is the way to go because their hours are better. Small business for me is you get more personal and more detailed
Yeah.
work. Everybody's looking for something different, and trust me, in the dog pet world, it's out there. If you're looking for it, it's there. You've just got to look for what makes you feel most comfortable.
Yep.
Wow, ladies.
Hopefully it does.
Yes, 100%. And that is such valuable guidance for all of our listeners here today. Thank you both for breaking this down so clearly, and we will see everyone next time.
That's a wrap for this episode of Tail Talk with Hound Therapy. Ready to book your pet's next groom, daycare stay, or grooming academy tour? Call us at 469-367-0009. That's 469-367-0009 to schedule an appointment. Or visit us online at www.houndtherapy.com. Serving North Texas with expert pet care. Until next time, keep those tails wagging.